Go for it.
Hi, it's Ricky of Moshville Times here once again. Now, tonight I'm delighted to be joined by Essex hard rock and heavy rock band White Raven Down. So tonight we've got guitarist Stu and bassist Luke. He just wanted to come in and join. But unfortunately, the rest of the band were too shy, so it means that we can just talk about them behind their backs. But to be fair, I wouldn't talk about Kane. I mean, Tom behind the drum kit. He said, "You're a bit too muscly for me," you know what I mean? So anyway, how are you two guys doing? It's good to see you. How's things been? Like, you haven't been affected with COVID or anything?
Yeah, we've had a few interruptions since things have been back to normal. We were doing a support tour on Nanny's UK tour, and COVID decided to intervene on that one. We had to cancel the show a few weeks ago, didn't we? Because of you, Luke. You had you caught COVID as well, didn't you?
I had it, yeah.
Were you quite affected by it?
Not at all. I was fine. One of the random few that don't seem to.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about things COVID. We're here to talk about White Raven Down then. So a few days ago, digitally, you released your debut album, Don't Shoot the Messenger. So you must have been chomping at the bit to get the album out there. So how have the reviews been for it so far?
Overwhelming. Madly overwhelming. We can't quite compute or comprehend everything that's been said.
Yeah. So has it been like mainly from UK, or have you had some foreign reviews as well?
Well, the good things about the foreign ones is that you can't read them. I can't.
You just look at the scores at the bottom and then post if it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, as Luke said, they've been brilliant, honestly. They've been so good. And at the end of them, they're like, potential album of the year. I mean, that in itself, you're just like, really? No.
Well, I must admit, it's a wee bit different from me because I'm more a death metal fan, as you can probably guess from the picture behind me. I do Moshville radio as well, and I have Mosh on a Thursday night for like death metal, yeah. But I mean, we all grew up on the Cults and the Alice in Chains and the Bon Jovis and the Skid Rows and stuff like that. So if I hear a good tune, I will like it. And you've already got a new fan. I've listened to quite a bit of White Raven Down in the last couple of days to prep for this. So I've thoroughly enjoyed what I've been hearing. So well played. Thank you, Ricky. Was there a possibility that Don't Shoot the Messenger then could have been released sooner? But maybe because of COVID or whatever like that, it's put things back. So, or is this the right time for Don't Shoot the Messenger to come out?
I believe that things happen for a reason, honestly, I really do. And yes, it could have been sooner if it wasn't for COVID. But that said, the issues we faced is that the first guy that was going to produce our album, he lost a family member, and then a second family member becomes seriously ill within a week of each other, and it really affected as it would any of us. And with that, and then just like, okay, look, we'll give you space, and then like, okay, we're going to get rolling again. He just said, look, I just don't think I'm in the right place to do it. So we're like, okay, right, well, we went to the drawing board. So then we approached lots of different people, and the ones that sort of got back to us, and like I said, we've got an 11 track album. We need it to be mixed, and we want to be heavily involved. To which they responded, yeah, okay, I'll have it done in 2 days. You're like, okay, well, you're obviously not the right guy. Next. And there was quite a bit of that, to be honest. And we come across John Cornfield down in Cornwall, and he's worked with bands like Oasis and Supergrass, but we found him more through his work with King Creature, who we're big fans of and friends with.
That's a bit of a cool lantern him, is it not?
Oh, mate, yeah. And he was at the Watermill Studios? Is that the right one? Sawmill studio, famous down in Cornwall. Literally accesses to and from a boat, you know. And if you watch a few of the Oasis documentaries on how they recorded Definitely Maybe, you know, it's heavily featured on there. So John was a part of all of those sessions, and he's got a great ear, but most of all, he was prepared to listen to us, you know. And we actually struck up. I mean, I'm good friends with John now, and he's a great guy. And that's who we wanted, that sort of person, you know. And he's a gent, absolute gent. And we needed someone that's prepared to listen to us, take on board our ideas, and then go, but I can suggest this as well.
Well, who's to say you might not get the same success as what Definitely Maybe got? Who's to say? Who's to say?
Well, but nice.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Yeah. So in between the time from getting the album mastered, then did you actually tweak the songs again? Did that give you an opportunity to look back at the songs, or were you completely happy with them?
We were pretty. When we'd recorded them, we'd spent must be nearly 2 years, I think, playing around with the songs.
Yeah. I mean, recording. We did re-record stuff during lockdown because as we were demoing the songs, like, right, okay, that needs to be closer. We need to do this. And because, you know, with everything in this industry is that you learn more and more as you go through.
Yeah.
And just felt that, you know, this could have been better, that could have been better. So we re-recorded it. And but now, like next time, provided the songs are there, we'll be able to get things a lot better, you know, and quicker. So, this is our first, you know, release. It's our debut album. It's our first release collectively, and we were all learning stuff. I mean, and we all recorded it ourselves as well. You know, we mixed with John, but we recorded ourselves.
So was this album pretty much written during the COVID period, or would you say that you started writing after the EP was released in 2018?
Well, once the EP was released in 2018, we got on the road pretty much immediately, didn't we, Luke?
Yeah.
And I think the songwriting process happened naturally. And quite often, there would be songs that come in a jam, you know, bang, freaking something, and you know, a few songs just went like that, didn't they? Like literally.
Well, it was Mind Reader, I think, was the first one that we wrote as the four. Yeah. And that was one session in the studio. We were just at rehearsal.
Yeah.
A riff started and was like, oh, we like that. Started playing it, and then Tom's kicking in. Like,
who was responsible for that riff then?
Stu. Yeah. When it comes to riffs, it's Stu. He's like a riff master.
Is he the type of guy that would send you a riff at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, listen to this, this is my best riff yet, by the way? Look.
It'll be a voice message, but not recorded guitar, but a voice message through the phone. Yeah, probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. He'd go, oh, I've got a great idea. Come up with this one. And he'll just do da 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 da. Like, okay, but I'm not going to listen to it until I get up.
Yeah.
And it's quite often a beatbox, Ricky.
Yeah.
Is it?
And then I get frustrated when someone goes, what do you mean it's not the best thing I've ever done?
Good stuff. Excellent stuff. So, but for those that are new to the band then, how would you say Don't Shoot the Messenger lies in terms of influences and sound? And do you think you've found the sound that you've been looking for with the album?
If I can just answer this one, though, because we spent a lot of time on the sound that we wanted, absolutely, and a lot of that again come down to John, prepared to listen to us, because there were certain things we wanted to do. I personally think the next album is going to sound a little bit more different because we've learned stuff during the process of this one, and we want to apply what we've learned into the next album. You know, there's not going to be a new album anytime yet.
Thought I was getting a Moshville Times exclusive there. Album in 2023.
There's a lot of material I mean, to be fair, a lot of material started. You know, there's not that much that's finalized yet, but we've definitely started.
You never stop writing, do you? In the band?
No. It just oozes out of you. It's out your pores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. And it's inspiration as well. I love it. For me, writing is the kick. That's the one. You know, that's the bit that gets me excited.
And if you do it for yourself, well, you do it for yourself primarily. But if fans or the public get to hear it and they like it, it's a win-win. It's a bonus.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So what about the EP then? See if the EP got the same treatment as what you did with the album. Do you think it would sound the same? Like I'm trying to like see what the difference is in the sound between the EP and the album.
Well, for me, I'd say the album is more professionally produced. The overall sound is more professional, so it means that there's the overall master has got frequencies bouncing a bit more.
Yeah.
The mastered version of the album has just got things a bit more compressed, a bit more within, you know, less frequencies trying to come through, particularly, you know, little speakers like this, you know. You know, you put it on a big speaker and you've got a massive wide range of frequencies coming out of you. So, you know, on a bigger equipment, the EP sounds wicked.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Again, there's still more stuff that we could do with that to make it sound better, particularly in the percussion department, I'd say. But and by the way, you know, Tom was here, he'd say the same thing, by the way.
Yeah. So with everything that's happened in the last 18 months and 2 years with this COVID nonsense then, has it made you look at the more business side of the band? Like, have you guys taken on like additional roles that you maybe didn't have and keeping the band name out there and doing merch and doing marketing and stuff? Like, have you taken on additional roles?
Look.
Well, there's really, it's the social media side, isn't it? Which is the big thing with it. And as I so eloquently put the other day, I'm not as wordy as Stu. It's trying to learn a lot of things with social media, how to really push and get in it properly, and that's been a task to learn.
Yeah. So is that something that you've had to take on board yourself?
Yeah, trying to. Yeah. I've always trying to learn lots of different things, but that's been a big challenge for me, not being the social butterfly.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, when I was doing my prep and my research and stuff like that, the Facebook posts do look rather good. So you must be doing a good job, and the guys must be pleased.
Well, we've got a great person as well that goes over and checks the posts.
Right, okay.
She's a savant when it comes to
good stuff. Excellent, thank you. So we kind of touched on it a wee bit earlier. With the recording of Don't Shoot the Messenger, will there be anything that you'll do differently with your next release? And what would you say that you learned most from this recording, being your debut album?
We were particularly, what we wanted to do by listening, I don't know whether a lot of people have really picked up on it yet, but we split some of our signals up. So we're literally 4 guys in the band, right? So one drummer, one guitar player, one bass player, and one vocalist. So with our sound, the guitar is a stereo sound live, so it sounds big. Our bass rig is set up via frequencies, and some frequencies are kicked in and out within our within, you know, when we play. So when I take a solo, some frequencies are punched into the mix live, you know, by Luke, to make sure that when I take a solo, that mid-range guitar area is still full. It was important because that is a part of our sound. It was important for that to be a part of our album, and it's in there. I don't know whether people have even noticed. Who knows? I haven't got a clue. No one's mentioned it. A lot of the like the sheen sort of parts are, you know, the glossy, you know, sprinkly, you know, fairy dust stuff seems to be more in the vocal department. That's where the sort of artistic production is in that area, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, would we do that any differently? Don't know yet. I think we'd personally, I've actually got ideas, but I don't want to say just yet, just in case we don't end up doing them.
So even how you touched on earlier, like you recorded a lot of stuff in the house. Was that something that you'd done previously, or did you actually invest in some equipment so that you'd be able to do that?
Invest in equipment, definitely. I've got a home studio here, and we recorded all your bass parts around here, Luke, weren't they?
Yeah, they were all around yours.
Yeah, most of them. The only place we went somewhere else for was vocals.
Okay.
So Tom recorded his own drums. So yeah, it was all, that's how we put it together. And there was things which we really had to sort, you know, you have to be careful of, you know, you really want a live feel.
Yeah.
You know, but to be perfectly honest, we've got that sort of chemistry anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a real chemistry between the way we play, and it's like we're able to do it in separately, and then freaking bang, you know, it feels good, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the
sounds as if you're a tight knit group. You're a really, really strong bond between you all. So that kind of leads me on to the following question. So how are the songs constructed within the band? I mean, when constructing the songs with band members having their own personal taste in music, how would you say that you keep it all together? Like, for example, when negotiating what stays in and what goes out of a song?
Well, we had one with, I think it was Masquerade. When we were recording Masquerade, my bass line in that must have written 20 bass lines for that little tiny little bit. It falls into one of those points of it's not always about what you play necessarily, all that it's the notes you don't play sometimes.
Yeah.
And just getting those nice little feels, and we've done so many little twiddly bits until we got it just right.
Yeah.
So it's a little discussion between all of us, and we sit and chat and go over everything and go.
Is there a kind of vote thing?
Yeah, we do.
Really had to come to a vote, was it? I don't remember going 1 vote for that, 2 votes for that.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't remember doing that. I just remember having discussions, but generally everyone was.
There was on Demons, but it was the right choice when we done that, because it was like over 10 minutes long when we first wrote it.
Was it?
And I was like, I love the length of this song. I love it. And it was like, we can't do it. We can't have it that long. I want it that long. And it was the right choice to bring that down.
So look, is Stu the moody one then? Like, if you say to him, "Look, I don't like that riff, take it out," does he go in the muff? Does he go in a huff?
No, he's really understanding when it comes to that. We do discuss everything really, really well.
Yeah,
I know it's nice to have a little bit of drama every now and then, but nah, he's.
Yeah.
I remember we had a riff in Void and Flame, which was in like a 5. It was 4/4, and then it went into like a 5/8 time signature every now and again. And then it just, as much as we all loved it, it didn't quite. It was. Do you remember the riff was a bit busy for the vocals, and we ended up changing it out for something that's simpler. That, and then we were all pretty much in agreement of, that works better for the song. So like,
yeah,
might use that riff somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. But talking about the vocals then, with Will being the vocalist of the band, does he do the lyrics for all the songs, or does he welcome contributions from the other band members? And what would you say are some of the lyrical themes?
The songwriting process generally, not always, but generally is a riff first. With the riff, I get lots of melody ideas, right? And I put those down one way or other and then give them to Will, and then he can either, use those melodies or not. And sometimes there'll be lyrics as well. But again, I'll just pass them over and like, this is what I got. What have you got? And then sometimes he'll come back with them and go, yeah, okay, well, I like this bit. I use this bit, or I like that. Or another time being, oh, I felt it needed more of this. Okay. It's fine. It's quite, there's never ever been, I don't remember there being any freaking friction over, lyrics or melodies that were or were not used. We're all pretty laid back people, and we've all got to do it live. So we always make sure that we can do it.
It must be a headache away from you, because writing lyrics is pretty much an art form in itself. So to have other band members doing that must be quite a bit of pressure taken away from you, for example.
Yeah, that's that fits nicely into Rush as well. How they used to do things, wasn't it? Obviously, you had Geddy Lee being a singer, but Neil Peart wrote all the lyrics.
Yeah,
but don't be mistaken. Real Will wrote most of the lyrics. But there were suggestions and other lines in there as well. But
how was it then when you had your melodies and you pictured how Will was going to sing this? How easy or difficult was it for you to say to Will, right, this is how I want it to go?
Well, it becomes a familiarity. The more you work with the same vocalist, you sort of work out, or you just get familiar with someone's range or where they would go. Yeah. I mean, again, if for whatever reason Will thought that he didn't like the melody, then it was always free to change it to suit him. It was not a this is how the melody must go. It was it's always been, well, I had this riff or chord progression, and then I had this melody come into my head at the same time. Take with it, do what you think. And then by the time you start constructing the song, like say from that moment, there would be a demo. And then the demo would go to everyone, and then everyone would start arranging their parts. And if there was any tweaking or rearrangement that needed to be done, that was the time generally when it was done. I remember Void and Flame, for example, the final song on the album. That was, do you remember that we had all the parts, didn't we? We had all the parts, and that went through several incarnations, and that was also very long to begin with. And it just couldn't get the song to work. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember what it was, something happened. And then I was like, yeah, that's it, got it. Sent it over to everyone, and then everyone was just like, yeah, that's it now. That's it. And it just, again, all the parts, all the different sections, this whole musical story journey was then complete. But until that final incarnation, there was an element in the back of my mind, like, I'm not so sure if this is going to work, but it did in the end. I felt it does. It's one of my favorite, maybe possibly the favorite song to play for me personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Will, from what I've seen in the videos and things like that, he's a very, very talented vocalist. And I would tell that to his face just now if he was here. Bassists can be replaced easily. So Tom on the drums, though, I see when I see his physique, I'm just wondering if he wants to smash the shit out of those drums and do a wee blast beat here and there or something like that. He's some guy, but bassists can be replaced. No, but it's you talked about Masquerade earlier on. That's definitely, of the 3 videos that have been released from this album so far, Masquerade is my favourite. So as long as you keep doing songs like that and the rest of the albums like that, I'll be buying the album from you. So cool.
It's interesting you say that. If you say you're into death metal, what appealed to you out of that for that song?
I mean, it's just... Do you know what was different from Lost Your Head, wasn't it?
Lost Your Hold.
Lost Your Hold, sorry. I heard more of your influences on that, I felt, whereas I felt like Masquerade was more you. I thought there was quite a bit of like Alice in Chains, for example, in Lost Your Head, whereas with Masquerade, it's so hard to be original nowadays, and it's not, you can't really say it's original or anything like that, but it's just ticks all the boxes, and the sound's just great, the video's great, it was a brilliant visual video, and it just clicked, everything was there. So yeah, I felt a wee bit of the cult in it, especially with the intro, and I love the cult. So, but I mean, it's just been a musical progression for me. Like in my teens and my 20s, I was always into the AOR stuff and the glam metal and all that kind of stuff. So I do still have a soft spot for the soft side. But broaden my horizons a wee bit. So, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I love anything that's slightly dark or that is, you know.
Listen to my show on a Thursday night then, and you'll hear plenty of it.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I love a bit, I love a bit of stoner, I love a bit of doom and all that sort of thing. So yeah. Luke just loves everything.
Yeah, I'll go from softest weird thing to something brutal heavy. So,
it just depends what kind of mood you're in, you know. I mean, when I play my 3-hour radio show of death metal, I'm knackered at the end of it. You know, when I go to bed, I don't want to listen to death metal. I'll listen to dark ambient or something like that. But yeah, but there you go. So a couple of weeks ago, you also released Lost Your Hold as a video single. So will that be the final video to conclude the visual side of the album? Or do you have anything else in the pipeline?
That is it.
Is it? Do you know what I quite thought? Were they not released quite close together, especially the last 2? Was that definitely the plan, or were you maybe like want to plan it out a wee bit, like maybe Masquerade coming out after the album? Or Lost Your Head coming out after the album?
To be honest, we that was a lot of planning with Roulette Media. We weren't sure whether we sat down with Viv and we weren't sure at one point whether Lost Your Hold was going to be released at all as a single. It was like, we'll release the 4th one depending on how the other 3 sort of gone down. And, you know, bearing in mind, say, Roll of the Dice was pretty much like, that was the first one to drop. And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, right, this is cool, we're getting into this. Price You Pay, you know, I was like, okay, because Roll of the Dice was probably had a slightly sort of commercial feel to it. And then Price You Pay was like, felt more like an album track, but it had some heavy riffs. And then Masquerade, which had that sort of darkness to it, but it was still, there's almost like a lyrically, I don't want to use the word poppy, but you know, definitely a lyrical song. And then you know, Lost Your Hold, which was like, let's have it, you know. I think on, you know, you look back and I personally think no, it all worked pretty well, I think, to be fair. And talk about, you know, our people that are into our band, they were ready. And fair play to them. They've been waiting some time.
Yeah.
You know, and then when it finally dropped, you know, there was so much excitement because, I mean, the other night at, you know, the Gifford Arms in Wolverhampton, which is where we had our album launch. I mean, honestly, people were singing the lyrics back at us to some of those songs, and they had only been released, you know, less than 24 hours prior. That's blooming dedication, and that's, we love that. That is the best compliment ever, you know.
Exactly.
We felt the love on that night.
Yeah. Well, we're actually going to talk about that soon, so don't say any more about it. But just a question I'm going to throw in there. How did the relationship with the Roulette Media come about? How's it been so far with Viv and Amanda? And what is it you expect Roulette to do for you? What hope they'll do for you?
We first met them at the HRH award show, that 2019. Luke, I think it was, wasn't it?
The 19th? It might have been 19.
Yeah. And as great, it was all great relationships start. We were all pissed.
Yeah. Hammered.
Aye. That'll be Viv and Amanda. Aye.
Yeah. And we all just really hit it off. What happened? They could offer a reach for our music. You know, they had really good ideas. I mean, it was the Roulette Media guys who finalized the running order for the album.
Okay.
And I've joked about it since with Viv, and you know, she was like, Demons at Your Door, that's your opener. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's your opening track. I'm like, what? You're going to open a heavy rock album with a ballad? Mad? And she's like, honestly, Stu, you got to trust me on this one. And then she did a massive running order, and I looked at it, and we all had to look at it, didn't we? Look, and we were just like, do you know what? Actually, fair play.
When we went back and played the songs in that order, we're like, yeah, it actually really works.
No, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. I've known them for some time myself. I haven't met them in person yet, but I'm sure it'll happen one day, and no doubt there'll be drink involved then as well.
If there's a bar involved, you'll have shots that poured down you, mate. Trust me.
Is that how they got you to sign the contract? Yeah.
No, they didn't need any of that. We wanted to work with those guys. It's all good.
It was necking half a pint of Jaeger that done it.
Bloody hell. Jesus. Right, thanks for that, guys. Right, thanks a lot for that, guys. You started to talk about the show at the Gifford Arms then. So how was that for you? How was it to feel being on a stage again and just performing your songs for the first time for the public to hear? How did it go down? I take it the place was absolutely rammed.
It was rammed, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. We're not used to things like that. When it's, you got loads of people are there to see us and help us and support our album. We're like wildly taken aback by it. It was nuts.
Yeah. What about yourself, Stu?
Yeah, as Luke says, you know, to headline a show that far away from home. Again, we knew it was a bit of a gamble. Again, you know, we were an Essex-based band. But since 2018, we've been touring the UK a lot, and we've gained fans that we would like to be there, you know, and followers of the band that we feel should be there because they're a part of our history and part of us growing.
Yeah.
And for us to do a headline show or as part of something even bigger, but that night we were the headline band. To see that room as busy as it was freaking incredible.
So did you play every song from the album, or did you throw a couple from the EP as well?
We played the lot. 1
Cool.
hour, 20 minutes, and we loved every second of it. The crowd were amazing. It was hot, sweaty, freaking noisy, heavy rock. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Oh mate, it's brilliant.
If we had more songs, we would have played for longer.
Yeah.
If we could have.
So you must have had a good run on the merch that you had as well to sell.
We did. Yeah, we did. The my wife Jo and Katie, that she does a lot of our merch stuff for us on the road. They were run ragged that night. And yeah, we're just so grateful to people that were prepared to support us, you know, and even then I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. But have you got this? Have you got that? You know, like, what? You want more?
Good. But I take it the Gifford Armisen isn't going to be the UK tour to promote the album. So what I've noticed on your Facebook page that you do have a number of gigs coming up. But for those listening to the interview, then what do you have lined up?
Oh, we have, well, the best place to look them up is whiteravendown.com/tour. And they've all got links to the individual dates. There's loads. We've actually got we're really looking forward to what's the one we've got on Thursday, Luke?
It's Dead Man's Whiskey.
Dead Man's Whiskey, yeah.
Ashen Reach. They're a brilliant Liverpool band as well, eh?
Tasty lineup, yeah.
Yeah, I think they walk on water for me. I love what they do. I seriously love.
Yeah,
they're brilliant.
Is that it's in London, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Islington, North London.
Islington. Aye. So is that a good sized venue?
Great question. No idea. Never been.
Well, hopefully you'll play to a much larger audience and things, and get some new fans.
We've got some good dates coming up with Trident Waters, Sons of Liberty, and Riders Creed. We're on parts of their tours throughout the summer, and we've got some good summer festivals in Rockwich, Love Rocks, and there's a few others in there. But again, you know, our website is the best place to.
Now, I've noticed that you've played Wildfire a couple of times, so you have been up to Scotland. But do any of your two dates anticipate coming up north of the border again?
Yeah, we
want Bannerman.
Crying out for it, actually.
We've had 3 shows at Bannerman's cancelled.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm Glasgow. But I've obviously been through Edinburgh and things like that, and Bannerman's is a great venue. Hopefully you'll get to play it, but thankfully COVID hasn't hit any clubs in Glasgow or Edinburgh, so I mean there's still numerous places for you to play, but Bannerman's in Edinburgh is probably one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. We did Dreadnought. We did Dreadnought latter part of last year.
Yeah.
We also did Troon. Yeah, it's at Bathgate. Yeah, we did Troon. We did Winter Storm Fest. I
bet it was winter as well.
That was wicked. It was, yeah. It's snow on the ground, actually.
It was cold.
Yeah. You weren't sweating that night, I can believe that. Yeah. I mean, like if you do, I know it's far from Essex, but Scotland does have a good scene as well. Like, for example, I always try and say to bands, like, go to places like Aberdeen. Aberdeen have got a huge scene, but because nobody goes up there, when people do go there, they'll always get a good crowd. But I know that it's about 3 hours from Glasgow, so it's a bit of a trek. But even a place to the left of it, Inverness as well, is the exact same. So it just depends how much time you've got in your hand and what promoter you get in touch with and things. But there are certainly options here up in Scotland as well. So.
We are always prepared to travel.
Yeah.
We will go anywhere and we will play anywhere because we love it too much.
Well, one of you's just had a wee sprog, have you not? So yeah,
that's Tom.
Yeah. So he'll probably be wanting to go on month tours and all the rest of it, so he can get a good sleep at night.
That's it. And Will, his other half's going to drop. When's that?
End of June.
June, isn't it? Yeah, end of June. So yeah, it's all go here.
Yeah. So what about Europe then? Do you think there's any possibilities of you get to Europe?
We're chomping at the bit to get abroad.
Yeah.
Once things open up, we want to get out. With Tom being from Czech Republic, we're keen to get out there as well. We think we've got a good sound for places like Germany.
There's a band from Ireland that went over Words That Burn. There's a band from Aberdeen that went to check as well, Deadfire, and they said it's absolutely brilliant. So really? If you get a chance to get out there, go for it.
We really want to.
We will. It is just a matter of time and, fitting things in and,
always is.
Yeah.
Always is. I've got a bit of a question here, but maybe it's showing my age a wee bit. But before the internet, magazines and fanzines were the places to find out about new bands and trends. But now publications have been replaced with thousands of websites catering for all genres. So do you think that some of the passion's been lost, or do you think that the internet's been a good thing for music and a good thing for White Raven Down?
I think it's been a great thing.
Yeah, it's a very double-edged blade, really.
Yeah.
When it comes to the internet, because it's incredible. You can get so many more places so much quicker than what you used to be able to.
Yeah.
The reach is obviously global.
Yeah.
We've been played literally all over the world.
I was going to say that it must be amazing. Like you've had some listens in Zimbabwe or something like that, or the Philippines or something.
I know we've got America have played us a lot. New Zealand have played us as well, and it's
Aussie.
It's literally opposite sides of the world.
Yeah.
And it's nuts.
Yeah. What do you think, Stu?
Well, as Luke says, I think it's easier to reach an audience with the internet being what it is. Sometimes it's more difficult to stand out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. When a big festival, for example, and this is just an example, like, who do you want to open up this festival or play with X band or whatever, I know, and yet people just trying their luck, they haven't played a show in 2 years, check out, I don't know, Unicorn Sparkles or something, I don't know. And like no one's ever heard of them. And then there'll be someone who is legitimately out there putting the work in, touring, that would just get overlooked because, someone's time might get taken up with Unicorn Sparkle. So, that's the downside, is that you got to try and make yourself stand out. And
it's funny how you the first band name you can think of is Unicorn Sparkles, but anyway, I bet you there is a band called Unicorn Sparkles. But I think you're right though. I mean, I've had countless discussions about this with mates. I mean, you would see an advert and it was like send £1 note in an envelope, and you would send it away to the band, and then later on you get like a couple of days later you get like a demo tape and you listen to it and you go, don't know if I like it, but because you've invested in it you listen to it again and again and then make up your mind. Whereas if you listen to things like Spotify or Bandcamp, 10 seconds, don't like it, next band, you instantly dismiss the band. So like you say, there's a million bands out there doing the same kind of stuff. So people are just so dismissive now, because they know that they'll find another band to replace them. So, but yeah,
also, you got to have, you got to have. There's so much, you got to have musicianship. You got to have songs. You got to have some sort of form of business knowledge. You got to have. You've got to be physically out there doing it.
Yeah.
You know, rather than dreaming of it or wish you were doing it. You know, best way to get out there and to meet people and talk to people, support people, because you hope one day they want to support you too. You know, there's you just got to go and do it rather than thinking about it.
That's what we done, really, wasn't it? We're over in Essex. We're blocked off by London, and the scene's a bit weird over our way.
Yeah.
So we just went.
Heavy rock is not a genre in Essex.
Yeah. So we just went, right, where can we play? Where can we go? And Stu put his social media feelers out, started talking to everyone, and we got some shows out of Essex, and we were like, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see what it's all about. And it just grew.
How's the van, by the way? Because I heard, did that not break down or something? Or broken? Is it repaired? Yeah. Is she still alive?
Yeah. Bev. She's called Bev.
Sorry.
After Beverly Crusher from Star Trek The Next Generation.
But she's back on the road, ready to roll again.
She's out sick bay.
Good stuff. Well, listen, just a last question. It's probably going to be another 40-minute video because we're now going to talk about the instruments and the setup that you use then. So we'll start off, we may as well start off with Luke then. Go for it. So what's your setup then? What bass do you use? And
it's my beautiful Rickenbacker is my main guitar.
Just 4 or 5 string? 4. Yeah. Had you ever contemplated using 5?
I have a 5, actually, as it happens. I've got a Yamaha RBX 775.
So do you think the 5 would suit White Raven down?
Only for the tuning that we're in, because we are very low in our tuning.
Yeah.
But basically, we got 5-string set of strings, put them on a 4-string. So we've got that extra low. Effectively is what we've done. We've got really heavy gauge on the low string.
I see. So there's method in your madness. So what about do you have pedals as well? Are you the guy that has like a whole complete deck of pedals, or
Stu and I both have giant pedal boards. And every now and then when you're carrying them up a massive set of stairs,
you wonder
why. But then we plug everything in. I mean, we've got on my board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pedals.
Do you use them all?
Yeah, it's all used because we've got the I'll run through an orange AD200 Mark III and a CR60.
Yep.
Which is a guitar amp. And as Stu said earlier, to keep those mid ranges in, we've got a load of magic going on with the pedal board to split the signal, and we run it through both amps at times when it's needed. Do a bunch of octave magic.
Yeah.
A lot of playing around. There was a lot of time spent. We were days in the studio and at home just going, right, what can we do? How can we fix this bit? We've got this problem and this problem. Right, let's see what we can do. Throwing more stuff at it, taking this pedal out, throwing another pedal in, and there was.
So I take it, I don't know if you get any stage divers at your show or anything like that, but you must get off the stage, don't touch my board.
Come on the stage, but leave your pint back.
So was that the bass that you used for the recording of the album as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that one.
So that's cool. That's excellent. Thank you very much for that, Luke. Right, so go for it, Stu. Go for it. What guitar choice?
Number one axe is where is it? That one there.
Okay.
That white Gibson SG, 2013 model.
Is that above your bed? Or is that a couch? I thought I was going to ask, is that above your bed? I thought, better watch it doesn't fall off.
It's a couch, but people stay with us recently, so
all right.
Yeah. I should have spotted that earlier and taken it out the shot, shouldn't I?
I'll edit it.
But that 2013 model, that white SG that's my number one guitar. That.
So what do you do when a string breaks during the song then? Do you have like a backup guitar, or do you like panic? You go, my string's broke.
That one up behind me, that cherry one.
Cool.
And they're both set up with heavy gauge strings, both Gibsons. The pickups are stock, but they've got step bar tremolo systems on them, they've got bone nuts, and they've got locking tuners at the nuts, so that they will stay really, really nicely in tune.
What do you tune it to? What do you tune it to, or is that a trade secret?
We're in drop B.
Cool.
So that's quite low for a strict 6-string guitar.
Yeah. I may as well ask you the question. Have you ever thought of a 7? You just wanted to show off and get that extra string, just like what Luke does?
No, I'm dead against it, because part of what gives us our unique sound is the fact that we don't do things conventionally.
Yeah.
Our sound, when you compare a lot of, because we're not a metal band.
Yeah.
We're not a classic rock band. We're not a grunge band either, but we sort of float in between, those sort of 3 things. And a lot of it makes us sound like us. There's a lot of things that we do in our signal chain which we wouldn't tell you, but that makes our sound unit us. And I think most people would say, if they put on an album of ours or a song of ours, I think there's something unique going on there, in my opinion.
So do you have a competition with Luke as well about pedals, and who's got the most pedals, or who's got the latest one, or who's spent the most money on a pedal?
No, it's again, it's all what's best for the band. It's all what's best for our sound. And it's all color. They all everything gets used, because again, what makes us sound like us is the fact that combinations are in a different way. If it's very easy to plug straight into an amp, but you'll sound like somebody else who plugs straight into an amp.
Yeah. That was a roundabout way, Luke, him telling me there that your pedals are better than his.
Well, he does have more.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. But incidentally, at the album launch, I broke a string.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
So you were the one that went, ah!
Yeah. It was finish song, bang. Oh, no, it's gone.
Aye. Yeah. So what was that, a 15-minute delay?
No, I've got a spare. I had to run back, go pick my spare up. But it was horribly out of tune.
Oopsie daisy. So I just have to ask then, with the Gifford Arms show, who made the most mistakes?
I think it's got to be Will.
Did he forget his own lyrics?
He's not here, so it's fine. Cool.
Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. This will get released on Moshville Times. I'll get released on their socials. I'll get released on Ricky of Moshville Times as well, and all my socials and all Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, absolutely everywhere. But please, if Viv's okay with it, send us an MP3 of a song. We'll get it played on the radio as well, on Moshville Radio. We'll put it on the playlist as well, so it's regularly played.
Thank you.
And we'll certainly do a bit to promote White Raven Down, because you guys definitely deserve promoting. So this will not be the last time that we talk. All right, I can guarantee you that.
Thank you, Ricky.
All right.